1.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Cheap Pops. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
And this is a show where we talk about wrestling, we talk about movies, we talk about whatever we want to talk about. First thing we want to get out of the way, we both went and saw DC League of Super Pets at the movies. I thought it was really, really good.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I gotta say, I'm kind of getting tired of The Rock and Kevin Hart doing stuff together all the time. But it was still a good movie. The plot was good. I mean, it's an animated movie, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's... But Keanu Reeves as Batman, I thought was...
Please make him a life Batman.
Oh, a real-life Batman?
Yes. If not, do a Batman cartoon again of him playing the voice of Batman.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I to be honest, it took me a while to actually figure out that it was him doing it, so...
Yeah, we're all, almost halfway through the fucking movie where
Yeah.
we're like, was that Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, but I thought it was really well done. They stuck to the canon of it really well with Kryptonite and, you know, all that.
That they did.
Yeah, so, I mean, the plot was what it was. I mean, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Well, we went to, on the 26th of August, yes, we're already in September, and we're talking about stuff we did in August, because sometimes it's hard for us to get together and
really
record.
fucking hard.
Yeah. We went to New York Championship Wrestling's Inferno of Champions. It was at the Waterville Elite Dome in upstate New York.
That was a lot of fucking fun.
It was a lot of fun. I had merchandise. Well, you did too, but you were selling just trading cards. I sold a shitload of stuff.
And how many times and how many people came up to our table and asked us about our mask?
Oh yeah, they wanted to buy some of the masks, the luchador masks that we had. Literally had stickers on that said not for sale. But you know, people are stupid. It was a good show.
Speaking of stupid, should we talk about the fucking guy with the briefcase?
Oh, the Money in the Bank briefcase? Yeah, but he had Cody Hall sign it.
Yep.
Scott Hall's son, yeah.
Can you sign my briefcase?
We've discussed this before. That stuff just drives me nuts. People that never held it, were never in a Money in the Bank match. Why would you have them sign a Money in the Bank briefcase? He has 8x10s on his table. Have him sign an 8x10. It was in conjunction with the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, which is located at the MVP Arena in Albany, New York. I haven't been there yet, but the one in Amsterdam that before it moved to Texas, which is a fucking whole other story, that was a really nice one, so I'm hoping this one is really nice too. One day we'll get down there and check it out.
Hell yeah.
It was a good show. Booker T was there. Bushwhacker Luke was there. Virgil was there. Virgil was just walking around all night just because nobody was really going to his table, you know.
Should we say how much it was for an autograph?
How much was it for an autograph?
I think like 40-something?
$40. Yeah, Virgil, sorry. You may have been part of the $1 Million Man's team, but you aren't worth $40 for an autograph.
No.
Sorry. One of our favorites, Mr. Man, was GM for the night.
Yeah.
He's always great. If you don't know who he is, just Google Mr. Man and, you know, wrestling manager, and all his stuff will come up. He's tremendous. He's a good dude. He's always really nice to us, you know. The start of the show, they had an arm wrestling contest.
Oh.
That was way too long. I gotta say, I love the show. The show was great.
It was.
But that was way too long, and I think you should have started the show with a match to get the crowd going before doing that, because that really...
That should have been, like, right in the middle of the show before intermission.
Right. I mean, they used it to kind of set up a tag match for later in the night. You could have done that some other way, because that dragged on forever. And their microphone kept cutting out all night long. So some of the matches, we don't know who were in them. And this is something I want to say to all indie promotions. Post the results of your show on your social media after your show. Because if we can't hear who the people are in these matches, I can't follow them on social media. I can't really talk about your show because I don't know who was in your fucking matches. I can say the matches were great, but if I only know who was in half the people who were in the match, it kind of hurts the results that I'm giving out.
Really?
But it was a good show. The team Black and Yellow, which is Corey Jackson and Ting Shi, They were really great. They won the tag titles. I don't know who they wrestled because, like I said, we couldn't hear who the opponents were.
Then we had an awesome guy next to us.
Oh yeah, Sean Phoenix. I was going to talk about him. He was really cool. He has really great gear. He blows fire before his matches. Speaking of him, I bought some of his merch. He has a really cool shirt reminiscent of the Amazing Jekyll Brothers from the Insane Clown Posse. I thought it was really cool. It won't fit me yet because I'm still fat. But I thought it looked really cool.
Fuck.
I am, and I made a good amount of money, so I wanted to. I like supporting indie guys who have good merch. And he was a good dude. He was right next to us, and he talked to us a lot throughout the show, so that was really cool. The tag match was good as an opening match. I think it should have started the show instead of that arm wrestling thing, but it was good. Excuse me. HVO, High Voltage Omar, was against Joro Joel, who's been shown on AEW recently. Excuse me.
You starting to lose your voice over there, Dave?
No, I haven't felt good lately, but it was a very solid match. They're two great pros. I mean, these guys knew how to put on a really good match. HVO won with his foot on the rope. You dirty, dirty heel, you.
You fucking heel.
Yeah, it was a good match. George Joel's really good. I'm glad to see that he's doing stuff with AEW. I hope he does more.
I didn't really see what happened with the rope or anything because my monitor went out.
What are you, Bobby Heenan now?
Fuck yes.
Next was a New York versus Florida challenge. King Kalua, who doesn't paint his face, he puts I don't know. It's like a paper/plastic thing that's his face paint over his face. I guess it saves you time for painting your face, but whatever. Captain Payne, I believe, was the next guy's name, and the reinforcer Anthony Anderson, who has been on Gotham and stuff like that. He's really good. He's a good heel. He was messing with the crowd a lot. He does a lot of what Jerry Lawler does in his matches, kind of just messes with the crowd, doesn't really do a lot, which I'm not complaining because working the crowd, especially at indie shows, is really easy to do.
Yes.
They were against the Stepdads and another guy. I have no idea who it was because, like I said, we couldn't hear who it was.
Even they didn't even know who the fuck they were teaming with.
But the Stepdads are amazing. We will put them over all the time. They are amazing.
Yes.
If you're in the Northeast and you get a chance to see the Stepdads on a show, they are really good, really professional, and they're really good guys.
Speaking of the Stepdads, they were actually two tables down from us.
Yeah, they were. We didn't get to talk to them much. We were kind of... I had to worry about my table because, people like to walk off with shit, and I wasn't going to let people walk off with stuff. So
I've noticed that some of the people were trying to talk to you and trying to distract you as other ones were looking.
Yeah, that did happen a couple times, but I was paying attention to my table. So
Same. When they were talking to you, trying to distract you, I was watching everything. When they were talking to me, you were watching the table.
The next match was Sean Phoenix. He won the Phoenix Division Championship. How apropos. I don't know who else was in the match. I'm sorry. We couldn't hear who these people were.
No.
But he blew fire before the match, kind of a la Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He had really cool gear. This guy really puts thought into his stuff.
Yes, he does.
And like I said, he's a cool dude.
You did get a great picture of him blowing fire.
Yeah, I posted it on our Facebook and on our Twitter. I don't know if I posted it on our Instagram or not. Sometimes I forget because I do it all at the same time. But there was a guy there named TJ Epics. He was pretty impressive. I don't remember who he wrestled. El Oso Blanco Bruno. He was a really cool dude. We stopped by his table and I added him on Twitter. We're following him on Twitter too. I'm hoping we'll see him again wrestle. Hopefully we can go to another one of these shows.
Hopefully.
I like this company. I thought they have really legit looking belts. Some of these indie companies have shitty belts, generic belts that you can just buy off of high spots, which, isn't really good. The NYCW title, Adam Stone wrestled Cody Hall. Adam Stone actually retained the title. I didn't really expect Cody Hall to win it,
Yeah.
But Cody Hall is a freak athlete. He's really cool. He talked to us a little bit. He's a nice guy. I've seen him wrestle before at Northeast Wrestling shows when his dad was in his corner, actually. I was hoping to get a picture I took of him signed, but of course, it didn't get developed in time, so that didn't happen. So hopefully he'll be at another show.
Hopefully.
The main event was Rick Recon, who we've actually seen at World of Hurt shows before. He was Mr. Man's hand-chosen opponent He chose his opponent, Steven Stetson. It was a good match. I mean, I don't know really to say it was a good match. You know, it was a good main event, actually. I thought it was the way it should have. I mean,
what we got to see of it.
Yeah, I mean, normally, because people were standing up in front of us. But you know what? We didn't buy tickets. We were doing a table. So they bought tickets, so I can't really complain about that.
Right, and we had to mostly focus on
what we were doing, right.
Exactly.
We handed out a lot of flyers. It was a great show. I was able to sell a lot of stuff, so I was happy. Anything to get rid of a lot of the stuff that I had.
I think I managed to sell 2 or 3 cards.
Yeah, I mean, you were selling individual cards. I was actually selling autograph cards, but I thought it was a good show. Hopefully we'll get to do it again. It's always great to have a table and hand out flyers and get out word about our show.
Right.
Because that's really the only way we're going to do it, unless people check out our social media, which if nobody tells them about it, it's not like... I mean, you'll stumble across it on YouTube or TikTok, because we put up TikTok videos.
Yeah.
But, you know, what else is really going to...
In TikTok, you can see us being goofy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, mostly you, because, you know, I get comments on the way people talk about what the hell is this, and, like, it's promoting our show, so...
Fuck it, I don't mind being a goofy fuck.
Well, you are, so it's a good thing.
Yay!
If you haven't noticed, we have Skeletor on our table, and a mini WWE title, the big Eagle belt. Not so big because it's a child-sized one.
Fuck off! I had a good deal for it.
No, that Nick got me. So I could be like the reverse Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
When the World Heavyweight title looks huge on him, I can have this look small on me. I like it. It works. Oh, one other thing before we get into more stuff that I wanted to show.
Yes.
I had a custom jersey made for the show. I don't like the New York Knicks, but I own a pair of shorts that are these colors, so I was like, I'm going to get it in this. This is all... It was $63, shipped from China. It's all embroidered.
That's not fucking bad,
No, it's not cheap applique or anything. It's 81's the year I was born. I'm fucking old, so I thought it was cool. I'm not going to show the back because it has my last name on it. You don't really need to know that.
Fuck no.
But I thought it was really cool. I want to get more jerseys made. I actually want to get a Team Taz jersey made because they have orange and black.
I was thinking about making, instead of the basketball, but a hockey one made.
Oh, they have hockey, they have football, they have all kinds of...
Yeah, I want to get a hockey one made. And speaking of hockey, if you don't mind me stepping on camera for a sec, to show what I got.
Oh, alright. Yeah, you should have just left it over there with you, but whatever.
Oh, fuck it. Is this Friday the 13th?
That's a really cool jersey. Horror's not my thing, but I do like the Friday the 13th movies. You got that for $40?
Yeah.
That's really fucking cool. That's like
a
really good quality jersey.
Hell yeah, for $40?
No, that's good. You'll see it again because we're gonna do a Halloween episode.
Hell yeah.
We're not gonna I had another podcast with a former friend of mine, and we used to do a Halloween episode every year where they would talk about Halloween and horror is really not my thing. So we're gonna do a watch along of an old WCW Halloween Havoc. We'll still talk about Halloween stuff, but it's not gonna be a lot of horror stuff because that's really not my thing. It is his, but I kind of want to talk wrestling too.
And I do want to talk about like how horror games are coming out.
Too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
and I'm not spoiling them on this episode, people.
You should bring your Kane Hodder frame piece that you got signed and stuff. A couple other things I want to show.
Hopefully we can try to hang. You know what? I want that to hang behind us.
All right.
If we can get it to hang behind us, then yes.
Yeah. I was really happy when I got the notification about this from GameStop. The Paul Heyman Funko with the ECW logo.
Yeah, Paulie!
This is really cool. A GameStop exclusive. That's why I got the protector for it. I do have to get a protector for this one because this guy grabbed it for me when he was at GameStop. The Cactus Jack. I have the Dude Love. I have to get the Mankind one off a WWE shop. This one's really cool.
I saw that and I had to snag it up for you.
And he's got the trash can, and it has a little Royal Rumble thing on the display from 2000 when he wrestled Triple H. So that's cool. Even though I do not think he wore the flannel when he came out to wrestle Triple H that year. I think he only had the black shirt on. I don't think he wore
No,
the
he
flannel.
wore the flannel, yeah.
Did he? Oh, well. And this one I saw while I was working. I had to have this because I like big butts and I cannot lie. Sir Mix-a-Lot, I thought this was... I love that they're branching out and they're doing other stuff.
Yes.
This is just going to be cool to display with my CDs and shit.
Yeah.
Because I have Guns N' Roses ones too, so... And I like Sir Mix-a-Lot. So.
Oh, I did send you that they got some cool Funkos at the little Walmart, like DX and NWO and shit like that.
I'm kind of picky on the wrestling ones that I get, but they have NWO and stuff.
I think
like
I
that.
sent you the Venom one that they have, the giant one.
Yeah, they have really... I mean, Funkos come out with some really cool stuff. When they first came out, I never thought those things were going to sell, and to be honest, I never thought I would get into them, but... They come out with... They're for everything. You know, and if you think of a TV show, you're like, oh, I wish they'd do it for it. They end up doing it. You know? Right. And like a show like Rick and Morty, there are so many sideline characters that they can do a Funko for any one of them. And
Poopy Butthole?
Huh?
Poopy Butthole?
Yeah. And the new season of Rick and Morty just started, and I watched them with a buddy of mine at work. And they're fucking hilarious.
I still gotta... I watched all five of the first seasons. I gotta catch up with 6.
Yeah, I love that show. I think it's so good. It's hilarious. And this new season, I think, is going to be really good. Season 5 kind of dragged in a couple spots, but it's Rick and Morty, and I think what they're going to do is good.
I fucking love the Mr. Nimbus. He's going to do that all the fucking time.
Yeah, that was good. There's so many things that you could talk about with that show. Mr. Meeseeks is my favorite episode. Look, can do. But it's just the little... no, that's Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Yes.
But that's just such a good show, so... I'm going to talk about some stuff because he didn't get the flash drive in time because the post office sucks.
Yes,
so
you fucking suck.
I'm going to talk about some of the wrestling events that happen.
But speaking of shit, spying shit, I did get this new shirt too.
Oh yeah, the South Park wrestling shirt. Yeah, that's cool.
Wrestling Takedown Federation.
Yep. Yeah,
the fuck?
That was a good episode. Well, I mean, I knew what the fuck, but no, that was a good episode.
Speaking of that, I was actually watching that episode the other night.
I'm sure you were. Yeah, that's good. I mean, anytime South Park, does anything with pop culture, it's good. I haven't watched it in years. I've gone back and watched old episodes. I'm more into Family Guy than I am South Park, but I will.
I gotta catch up on Family Guy.
Yeah. The TNA Emergence event, which happened on August 12th, or TNA, it's Impact Wrestling now. I'm still going to call it TNA because that's what it
tits and ass.
Yeah. Okay. Calm down, Vince.
Viagra pole match from Vince Russo.
The Countdown show had my favorite wrestler on it, Deonna Purrazzo. She was tagging with Chelsea Green. They're called Vexed. They won the tag titles from Rosemary and Taya, the Knockouts tag titles. Chelsea Green is a great chicken shit heel. Her and Matt Cardona are married, and they do stuff together all the time. I'm sure I sent you the picture. I sent it to a couple of my buddies. At Game Changer Wrestling, she flashed a wrestler that was wrestling Matt Cardona. Maybe I didn't send it to you.
No, I don't think you did.
I mean, she had stuff covering her nipples, but still, it was... I'll send it to you, because I know you'll like to see it. But,
no. I got my own boobies.
Oh, Jesus. Bullcrap. You send me stuff all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, of course I'm going to send it to you because you're fucking single.
So don't act like you don't like seeing it, too. But Vexed has great teamwork. Rosemary and Taya... I like Rosemary and Havoc together as Decay. I've never been a real big Taya Valkyrie fan. I don't... The opening match on the actual event was Speedball Mike Bailey against Jack Evans for the X Division title. I like Mike Bailey. Jack Evans, it's just nothing but high spots. It's nothing but flips and kicks and, all that stuff. Mike Bailey can actually wrestle, too. I like X Division matches, but when that's all you can do is just the flips, it kind of turns me off of it. It was an okay opening match. If you know what the X Division is, you know what kind of match it was.
Yeah. I kind of miss the old X Division.
I do too. I mean, I like a lot of the new X Division wrestlers too, but there was something about the way the X Division was back in the early, even way up into like 2011, 2012.
I really miss the cruiserweights from WCW.
Oh yeah,
we were just talking about this on the way up here.
Yeah, that was really good too. We'll talk about it when we talk about Halloween Havoc. Eddie Guerrero against Rey Mysterio. It was a good opening match. I actually think there was a match that should have started the event instead of this one. I'll talk about that one after. Steve Maclin was supposed to wrestle Sami Callihan, the Death Machine. They started brawling in the aisle. The match never really started. They both knocked down the ref.
Yeah, this one you did send me.
Did I?
This one, yeah. So
they fought into the crowd.
Fucking love that match.
And they kind of when in between matches during the breaks when people were trying to get interviewed, they were fighting then too. It was cool. Steve Maclin impresses me more and more every time he wrestles.
Yes.
I think he's a great upper middle card guy. I'd like to see him get a run with the title at some point.
Me, I love Sami Callihan.
Oh, Callahan's great. Callahan's always been great. I wish he would have gotten more of a good run in NXT when he was there. I think it was Solomon Crow or something like that. Because his music was really cool too. But they never really gave him a chance.
Fuck no. You expect WWE to give a great fucking talent a run? Fuck no.
I actually saw Sami Callihan wrestle Matt Hardy at a Northeast Wrestling show in a minor league baseball stadium after it had downpoured rain and they were slipping all through the mat and everything. They were trying to keep their feet because they tried to soak up the water as much as they could. And Callahan was commenting on the rain through the whole match. It was great. Another team I really like, Violent by Design, wrestled Chris Sabin and Kushida. Which Kushida usually wrestles with Alex Shelley, but since Alex Shelley was in the main event...
I wish, speaking of the main event, I wish that they would have put the belt on Shelley.
Yeah, I mean... I know that Sabin got it at one point, so it would be cool. But they're really... I mean, Alexander signed like a multi-year deal, and they're really going with him. You don't know what contract status, Shelley has. It would be cool for him to have had the belt. I agree with that. But I can see why they didn't.
Because watching him throughout the years with the early years of some of the bullshit gimmicks. And it's like, he fucking deserves it.
No, I get that.
After all these years.
But I can also understand why they didn't do it.
Yes.
Representing Violent by Design was Eric Young and Diener. Joe Doring was outside the ring. He interfered and helped Violent by Design win. Want to send thoughts and prayers to Joe Doring. His brain cancer is back. He's going to keep fighting it. I think he might have a GoFundMe to help with the medical bills.
I think he does too. And didn't they say that he's going to be... I think they said that he's not going to be wrestling anymore.
Well, they said that the first time, and he came back.
Yeah.
He said he's determined to come back. I hope he does. He reminds me a lot of Stan Hansen.
Yes.
He's a really big dude, and he's a brawler, and I think he fits Violent by Design really well. I think he fits it better than Rhino did.
Yes. It's speaking of Diener.
Diener, yeah.
Tell me if you still remember him with ODB.
I do remember him with ODB. And he's completely different now, which is great. He's he's crazy with Eric Young. It's pretty much he kind of is doing Sanity that he did in NXT. It's kind of just changed it up. But I really like it. I've liked Eric Young. I liked him when he was the comedy guy. And when he's serious, he's good.
He does is gold.
Oh yeah, he makes everything he good. He can turn chicken salad into chicken shit. He's really good. Why Vince? Because Vince doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and hardly ever did.
I think I was watching it the other day where people that Vince never wanted to make world champion. He never wanted to make Chris Benoit world champion because he thought it was bland in the fucking ring.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean...
Vince is so fucking stupid.
Well, you don't have to worry about him anymore.
No, thank God. I'm surprised that the steroid scandal didn't bring him down. what was it? A couple of the other scandals, but this is the thing that fucking brings him down.
He's in a lot of trouble right now. So yeah. The next match was the one that I think should have started the event. It was a AAA attraction match. AAA is an awesome lucha libre company in Mexico. Rey Horus, he was in Lucha Underground. I can't remember what character he was, but I remember the back tattoo that he had. He's really good. He wrestled Bandito, who was in Ring of Honor for a long time. Great lucha match. I like the luchador matches because lucha, yes, they do the high spots, but I think it flows more than some of the other high spot matches do. I think it was much better than the X Division match.
They do keep it. Yes, they do high flying, but yes, they do a lot of actual wrestling in the ring too.
And it is a different style than a lot of the other high flyers.
I fucking love the luchador matches.
Right. I think this one should have started the event because I think this one would have pumped the crowd up more than the X Division one did, but it was still a good match. At this point, Steve Maclin and Sally Callahan started fighting again out into the arena, and Moose was involved too because he's got something going on with Maclin against Callahan. Scott D'Amore came out and made it a no DQ match, so they ended up actually having a match.
And that was a fantastic match.
It was. There was chairs thrown in, and Steve Maclin actually threw a Swiffer in the ring at one point, and the crowd was into it, and he actually threw it back out of the ring. He didn't use it, which was funny. Like I said, I'm more and more impressed with Steve Maclin every time I see him.
And man, did he fucking bleed.
Oh, yeah, he bled like a stuck pig. He lost by a pile driver. He had his hands zip-tied around behind his back. Callahan gave him like a package pile driver. It was it was a good match.
Yes, it was.
The next match was another no DQ match, which kind of, I think you should have spread them out a little bit, but whatever. Honor No More, who was a bunch of guys that came from Ring of Honor. Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Vincent, PCO, and Eddie Edwards, who had been in Impact for a long time, but he was originally a Ring of Honor guy. If they win, they get a tag title shot, which, spoiler alert, they won the tag titles from the Good Brothers, I think, the week later.
Yeah, and I did find out that, on Facebook with that.
Right, and if they lost, they'd have to disband, which would suck because I think Honor No More is a great group.
Yes.
The Bullet Club was Hikuleo, who I believe is one of the sons of Haku. The Good Brothers, Chris Bay, and Ace Austin. I don't really think Ace Austin fits in the Bullet Club, but, it's not my call, so...
Right.
I mean, 5-on-5, no DQ, I think you can pretty much figure out what happened. Lots of crazy action, lots of high spots, lots of weapons. The crowd was chanting for the Swiffer, because, they had seen it in the match before, and they wanted somebody to actually use it, but they didn't.
Use the fucking Swiffer, damn it!
At one point, Gallows choke-slammed PCO off the balcony through a table to the floor, and I think that pretty much took care of PCO through the rest of the match. It was good for what it was. I mean, it was a brawl with 10 guys. They didn't do a lot of split screens, so you didn't know what a lot of was going on.
Yeah.
But the announcers did a good job of describing what was going on, so you really did know what was going on. I think the announce team of Matthew Raywall and Tom Hannafin, I think they do a really good job. Because it's just two of them. Every once in a while, they'll bring a third person out to kind of, add context. But AEW sometimes has 4 people trying to talk at once, and it gets too crazy. The next match, Mia Yim against Jordan Grace for the Impact title, the Impact Knockouts title. I skipped this match. I don't like Jordan Grace. I do like Mia Yim. I first saw Mia Yim in Northeast Wrestling in 2011, 2012.
I fucking skipped through a lot of it too.
I don't like Jordan Grace. She's kind of like Shayna Baszler to me. I just don't see
You mean
anything.
Shayna Baszler?
Yeah, I don't see anything in her. I don't like her, so I skipped it. I like Mia Yim. I saw her when she was just doing jobs to Mickie James at Northeast Wrestling shows. Well, not doing jobs. She lost in every match I saw her in with her. But, they were competitive matches. But I'm sorry, I skipped it. You know, I might get some shit for skipping the women's match, but you're probably not going to like me for the AEW one because I skipped that one too. Because I don't like Jade Cargill, so I skipped it. And it went to the main event for the Impact World title.
I had to skim through a lot of the AEW. The only one I really freaking sat down and watched was the Darby Allin match because I wanted to see that fucking combo match.
That was good. The Impact World title, Alex Shelley, which you mentioned before, against Josh Alexander. Shelley did a great job of working Alexander's arm and his leg to take away the C4 spike and the ankle lock and a lot of the other stuff that he does. Great back and forth match. Shelley's a pro. Shelley's always been a pro. He did a lot of his Motor City Machine Gun stuff, but he also did a lot of technical wrestling. Josh Alexander, usually for the C4 spike, he grips his hands together, but because Shelley was hurt, working on his arm so much he couldn't grip, so he actually grasped his forearm to do it and did the C4 spike, which is like a jumping pile driver. Really good match. Alexander retained the title. Really good show. It wasn't a pay-per-view. Impact on their Impact Plus app. They do special events in the months in between when they do pay-per-views. I think they're all really good. I love Impact. I think more and more people should give it a chance.
That they would get a better TV deal.
Yeah, but with the company that owns them, that company I think owns Access TV. Yeah. So they're never really going to do anything with it.
No.
But as long as they keep it on the air and they keep giving people a chance to wrestle, especially Deonna Purrazzo, I'm happy.
The biggest thing is that fucking Vince Russo fucking screwed him over so much.
Yeah, I know. Clash at the Castle for WWE. It was on September 3rd. Just going to kind of go through some of it because WWE has so much going on in their shows.
I think the best thing was Dominic turning heel.
Yeah.
The best fucking thing of the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to that match because I don't really care about Rey Mysterio. I like Edge. The Judgment Day is kind of because they're involving Dominic. Like this whole thing with like Rhea Ripley dominating him is actually kind of cool, but I don't really...
Did you get the fucking meme I sent you? Turning Dominic into a man.
Yeah. The opening match was a 6-woman tag match. There was too much going on. They were trying to get spots in. It looked way too hurried. You could see them hesitating on stuff because they were trying to, get it in.
Wait, hesitating? Was Charlotte in the match?
No, Charlotte wasn't in the match. And I hope she never is again. I'm sorry if you like Charlotte. I think she's...
Fuck Charlotte Flair. There, I said it. You want to fight me? Come bring it.
Well, Andrade might have something to say about that because he is fucking her butt. Since I'm going to skip the
Are you sure that Andrade's fucking her and not Rick the way that she...
Listen, I don't want to hear that shit. That's disturbing in so many levels. With the way Ric Flair looked in his last match, I don't think he's fucking anything. But the Intercontinental title, this was an amazing match. Sheamus against Gunther Walter, if you actually know who the fuck they're talking about, because that's who he should be.
He should be fucking Walter, not Gunther.
Yeah, a great hard-hitting match, lots of chops, lots of just... They were beating the fuck out of each other. It was strong style.
I love watching Walter's matches.
I do too.
That one match that you showed me for the NXT World, the UK World title.
Oh, with Ilya Dragunov? Yeah, that's one of the most brutal matches I've ever seen. But Sheamus was the perfect, opponent for him because Sheamus likes to bring it. I think it's a match of the year candidate. I thought it was really good. And I wish they would go back to the old Intercontinental title belt, one of them, even if it's the Attitude Era one. Yeah. Because that one they've got looks stupid.
It looks like a fucking toy.
It does. And it doesn't help Gunther to have that. He needs an old school belt. But match of the year candidate, in my opinion, one of the best things WWE has done this year. I'm not going to say anything bad about this show. I thought it was really good. The crowd was really amped because they haven't done a big stadium event like that since 1992. In the UK. I don't think this Saudi Arabia pay-per-view that they're doing is going to be very good. With Logan Paul against Roman Reigns.
That's what I was going to talk about. It looks like they're going to have Logan versus Roman.
And he's not going to win the title.
Fuck no.
If Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar and all these people aren't going to beat Roman Reigns for the title, you think they're going to give it to Logan Paul?
The only one that he should drop that title to is Killer Cross or, like we said, Bray Wyatt if they ever bring Bray back.
If they bring Bray back. But They're probably not gonna. It was a good match. Roman against Drew McIntyre. Theory tried to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, but he got knocked out by Tyson Fury.
No, bitch, you ain't cashing in.
And Solo Sikoa from NXT made his debut and interfered to help Roman Reigns win the title. I like him. I think he's good on NXT. He's coming up to the main roster now because he won the North America title, and then they made him relinquish it on this past week's NXT. So he's coming up to the main roster. I'm glad they acknowledged that he's the Usos' brother, because they weren't doing that on NXT, which is fucking stupid. But, I mean, it's the same damn company. The same people watching NXT watch the other show. So when you change shit from the NXT to the main roster, it's fucking dumb. Just saying it. It's fucking dumb. I know other people say it too, but it's fucking dumb.
It is fucking dumb.
I mean, they're on the same fucking network. USA is NXT and, so people have their DVR set for fuck's sake. What
are they expecting the people?
It was a good match. Horrible ending to the show because Tyson Fury came to console Drew McIntyre and they fucking sang "American Pie" by Don McLean.
Oh my fucking god!
It was horrible. It was bad. It was so
Thank
bad.
God that wasn't on the fucking flash drive.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to get sued. So
the only match I wanted to fucking see out of that whole fucking card was was Walter versus Sheamus.
Yeah. I mean, that was really the only one that really made the show any good.
But like I said, I was happy that Dominic finally turned heel.
Right. No, that was cool.
Because finally he's not underneath the shadow of his father.
But it was kind of stupid too, because why would he cost the Judgment Day the match by tripping Finn Balor?
Right.
And then turn heel? Why wouldn't you...
They should have had him turn heel during the match.
Well, no, but I mean, you could, if you wanted him to turn heel after, that's fine. But have him trip Finn Balor, but still have Finn Balor win the match.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to, why would you have him cost them the match and then turn heel? That seems kind of stupid. You could have made it look like he made a mistake, but Finn Balor, overcomes it and still wins the match. But WWE doesn't always make sense, so. Now, the real pay-per-view that happened that weekend was the next day, was All Out by AEW. I love AEW. There's a lot of shit going on right now in AEW. We're going to talk about that.
I still do believe that the Young Bucks super kicked the door in, though.
No, they couldn't super kick a fucking paper bag.
I'm pretty sure that they slapped their thighs, though.
Probably. But the 0 hour, the countdown show, Eddie Kingston wrestled Tomohiro Ishii from New Japan. Pretty much what you can guess. Hard chops, strong style. It was brutal. Eddie Kingston loves that shit, and I love Eddie Kingston. I'm so glad he's finally getting a national platform.
He should have a run with the fucking title.
I would love to see him have a run with the title. That would be great, even if it's a short one. I think it would be great. It was a good match to start off. It wasn't on the actual pay-per-view, but if you're buying AEW shows, you're watching the countdown show too. It's just, the opening match, the Casino Ladder match. Entrant number 1, Wheeler Yuta from the Blackpool Combat Club. Entrant number 2, Rey Fenix. The thing about the Casino Ladder match is somebody can win it before everybody gets in it, which I think is actually a pretty cool concept.
That is pretty cool.
Number 3 is Roosh. Number 4 was Andrade. Number 5 was Claudio Castagnoli, the Ring of Honor champion. Number 6 was Dante Martin. Number 7 was Penta El Oscuro, I think they're calling him now. He changes his name all the time. So.
Pentagram Jr., there you go.
Well, he can't because either CMLL or AAA owns the name, so he can't do that. Or Lucha Underground owns it. One of them owns it. But he did a really cool Canadian Destroyer to Dante Martin on the ramp, which was really cool. Dante Martin did a bunch of high spots like he always does. So did Rey Fenix. The Joker who came out was, surprise, surprise, was MJF, who was an awesome heel. He came out to Sympathy for the Devil. He had a mask on, Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones, which was really cool. Stokely Hathaway has a group of a bunch of guys who actually took the chip down and handed it to him. I think most of the crowd knew it was MJF, but you didn't know until later in the night. So now MJF can challenge for the world title whenever he wants. It was a good match. I mean, typical, it was a ladder match. Ladder matches are kind of all the same now. They're all doing weird stuff. The next match was the Trios Championship. The Elite of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks against Hangman Adam Page and John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order. I think Silver and Reynolds were really impressive. They've never really been able to show, in my opinion, unless you watch Dark and Dark Elevation, what they can do as a tag team. They really have a lot of good tag maneuvers. I like the Dark Order. I think they're a good
What a maneuver!
God damn you. I mean, it was spot fest because the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. But entertaining, it was...
I'm glad to see Kenny back.
Well, he might not be back for long with everything that happened afterwards.
Right.
The next match was the TBS title. Oh, the Elite became the first ever Trios champions. That changed the next night because of everything that happened. TBS Championship, Jade Cargill against Athena. I like Athena. She was Ember Moon in NXT and WWE. I skipped this match. I think Jade Cargill is horrible. She reminds me a lot of Charlotte Flair. She's just fucking bad. So I skipped the match. Plus, the pay-per-view was like 4 hours long, so I wanted to skip something. And I didn't want to skip all the women's matches because one of them was actually really good. The next match was a six-man, FTR and Wardlow against Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns from Impact Wrestling. It was a good six-man. It got a little jumbled at the end. Samoa Joe came back and attacked Jay Lethal. Dax Harwood of FTR's daughter ended up pinning Sanjay Dutt after the match because Sanjay had been going back and forth with FTR because one of FTR's slogans is fight like an 8-year-old girl because Dax's daughter had heart surgery at one point. So it was a good match. Another six-man. I mean, you got the trios titles. Now you're having another six-man. Whatever. Ricky Starks against Will Hobbs. I think there's great upsides for both of these guys. Starks had cool new ring gear. I guess he said it's the only time he's ever going to wear it. He wore long tights. The match didn't last long. I don't know if Starks is still injured. Awesome spine buster from Hobbs. He reminds me a lot of Mark Henry, and Ron Simmons too. Not just because of the spine buster, but he's really good. I think if he's given a long run, he can do really good as a heel. Next was the tag titles. Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, who are the champions, against the Acclaimed. The crowd was hot for this match. The Acclaimed are over like crazy. It was a good tag match. The announcers were just talking over each other, trying to get shit in during this match. Shivani adds nothing. At this point, JR adds nothing. Taz and Excalibur would be amazing as a group. And if you're going to bring in William Regal every time the Blackpool Combat Club wrestles, that's fine. Having Jericho for anything is fucking horrible because he's just overacting and trying to get himself over, which is fucking stupid. But you do just Taz and Excalibur, I'm happy. I mean, they should have pulled the trigger on the Acclaimed winning the titles. Hopefully they'll do it at Grand Slam tonight. We're recording this on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
The next match, this is the women's match that I wanted to see. A 4-way women's match for the title. Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, Toni Storm, and Jamie Hayter. Match was fast and furious. It's a 4-way. Jamie Hayter is incredibly over. She's like Acclaimed over. The crowd wants her. Toni Storm ended up winning the title. I think it was a bad idea to do that, but it looks like they're kind of going with something with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter having a feud. If it ends up with Jamie Hayter winning the title eventually, I'm all for it because she's fucking awesome. The next thing, it was kind of a match, but it wasn't. Christian Cage comes out. He's in a feud with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy's music hits. Baltimore, Tarzan Boy. The crowd's all chanting and stuff. Jungle Boy's looking at the crowd. Luchasaurus comes out, choke slams Jungle Boy onto the pyro grid. You can see just the welts on his back from where he got choke slammed. They kind of dragged Jungle Boy to the ring, And Christian, he fed him to Christian, and Christian pinned him. I don't know why they started the match. It was kind of fucking dumb. But I guess Christian Cage is injured, or that's what they say, so I'm sure they'll do the match at some point. I'd probably, Jungle Boy will have to go through Luchasaurus to get to Christian Cage, which, fine with me.
Yeah. I mean, at least they're trying to build it up.
Right,
somewhat.
right. The next match, Chris Jericho against Bryan Danielson. Excuse me. Jericho was serious. He came out as Lionheart. He had the old school tights, the Lionheart vest. Came out to his ECW White Zombie music, which I think is fucking great that Tony Khan licenses music for these guys to come out to. I think it's awesome.
Yes.
Something that WWE did One Night Stand for ECW, had Sandman come out to Metallica, and then they never used it again. Or they'll have Kid Rock come out and do a performance, and then they induct him into the Hall of Fame, but they cut his fucking music out of the network. What the fuck's the point of that? Or they'll have Triple H come out to Metallica at some point, and then they'll cut it out. If you're going to use it one time, license it for the whole time. Because you do it with Rob Zombie for Edge, his music.
Yeah.
At certain points in the network, they clip out Limp Bizkit, but in other ones they keep it. So if you're gonna look the other way, you might as well look the way for all of it. Because Sandman's entrance is not the same without Enter Sandman. It never will be. So, but it was cool to see him come out with the White Zombie music. Danielson had the rapper that does his music rap him to the ring. I think the live performances are always cool. Danielson and Jericho. Jericho was serious. Sometimes he can just trying to do what he does, and his matches suck. But he really tried hard in this match. It was a great pace. It shows Jericho can be serious when he wants to be. Jericho won the match, made Danielson tap out, which I think is fucking dumb. But sometimes AEW doesn't make sense. I love AEW, but sometimes they kind of make me scratch my head. Next match, House of Black. Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews with Julia Hart. Watch Dark Elevation and Dark for Julia Hart. Julia Hart's coming really well, and I like this kind of sinister, like goth girl character that she's doing. She's not full on goth, but she's got like the black lipstick and stuff. I think her ring work has really improved. I believe she's been training a lot with Dustin Rhodes, which has really helped her. Check out a couple of her matches. It's worth watching Dark just to see her stuff. And it looks like they're going to continue House of Black, even though Malachi's he got a release. It's a conditional release. He's got mental health and physical issues that he's working through. Hopefully he'll come back. But the fact that they're going still with the House of Black, I think, is really good, because you don't really need. You can still continue it without him. You can still call it the House of Black because they were with him. So why can't you still call it the House of Black? And the logo is cool. The music is sweet.
Are they still doing the stuff with Brody Lee?
Brody King, you mean?
No, Brody. Yeah, Brody King.
Yeah, they're still a team with him and Buddy Matthews, and they're still calling it the House of Black.
So. No, with Brody's kid.
Oh, I haven't seen him on any of the shows lately. I'm sure he's still backstage, and I'm sure, being the Elite's not on anymore because the Bucks are gone. Yeah. We'll talk about that too. But I don't know if they haven't had him on Dark or Dark Elevation.
Because I know that with Evil Uno and stuff like that.
Right, they were bringing him out with the Dark Order, Brody Lee's kid, but they haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, are they still together, or what's going on?
Oh, they still have the Dark Order and all that.
All right.
But the House of Black wrestled Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. Like I said, I love me some Julia Hart. It was a good, fast-paced six-man. There was an awesome face-off with Sting and Malachi, and they exchanged blows and stuff. Sting looks pretty good. He's still just throwing the chops, and he's doing stinger splashes. I mean, really, what more does he need to do? He's a legend. He's an icon. He gets the pop just for doing what he does. Sting used the black mist on Malachi to help win the match, which I thought was actually pretty cool because that was Malachi's thing. I guess after the match, the crowd gave Malachi a really good ovation and stuff while they were playing a video package. It sucks that he's gone, but a lot of these guys didn't take time off for mental health or for physical issues, and I think more of them should. You know,
they really should.
A lot of this, rub some dirt on it, or you got your bell rung, or oh, you're fine. A lot of that shit needs to go. A lot of these people. I think some of the old timers would have had better careers if they had taken time off.
Look at poor Kurt Angle. It just came out where he's starting to have memory loss.
Right, and he had just had double knee replacements too because of the style that he worked. It was a good 6-man, a good use of Sting. Darby Allin's a fucking maniac with the way he dives out of the ring, just balls out. He doesn't do the typical, tope suicida with his arms out.
Yeah,
he throws his entire fucking body. It's real. That
man has no fucking fear in him whatsoever.
He doesn't care, which is great.
I love the match with him and Jeff. Yeah,
that was good. Yeah. And hopefully Jeff will come back at some point if he can get his life straight, but who knows. It was a good 6-man. I don't know what else. I would say watch this if you can stream it, or if you want to pay the money to watch it. They're good. They're long pay-per-views, but AEW has really good action, and they put a lot of thought into their product.
That fucking show that we went to, that was
it was a long night, and plus I was in a lot of pain because I had an infected tooth, and it was a long drive home.
It was
4 hours home. But
I'm sitting there like this.
Yeah, he was knocked out, and I was in pain trying to drive home. So, the main event, the undisputed AEW title, the interim world champion Jon Moxley against CM Punk. The crowd was on fire. At one point, the Moxley chants were drowning out the CM Punk chants in Chicago, which is kind of crazy because usually CM Punk gets cheered like a son of a bitch. It was a good back and forth match. Punk tore his tricep at one point, and you could see him going to, grabbing his elbow and, trying to flex it out and stuff. They did it. Punk won. He gave him the GTS, I think, a couple times. And I watched it last night, and I was kind of tired, but it was a good match. They revealed MJF at the end with the mask and everything. They played a voicemail of Tony Khan telling him he's going to pay him money and that he could be in the ladder match and shit like that. It was really cool. And they played a promo from Ring of Honor from I think it was 2005, where CM Punk said the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the world that he didn't exist. So that was a cool tie-in, because they were going to go with MJF against Punk. Well, that probably won't happen now. But it was a great reveal. They, MJF came out to his music and shit and took off the mask, and so it was cool. If you don't know what happened in the media scrum afterwards, CM Punk kind of went off on Colt Cabana and the Elite, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, calling them children and saying they shouldn't be EVPs. And I guess from reporting, something had to have happened because everybody got suspended.
Yeah.
But apparently the Elite barged into Punk's dressing room and there was a fight. Ace Steel got involved. I guess Pat Buck got involved. Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler got suspended as well, from what I've been reading. Everybody got suspended because the next night there was new trios champions. The Lucha Brothers and Pac, the Death Triangle, are the new trios champions. And they're doing a tournament for the AEW title, which is actually going to... I don't know if it's culminating tonight or if, the finals... I can't remember, but the Grand Slam is happening at Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens tonight as we're recording. Not as you're watching this, because it's not going to get uploaded tonight, because I got shit to do. Some of us work.
Yeah.
But there's work our asses off. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on in AEW. I mean, it sucks because Punk is a huge draw for them. He's a huge merch mover for them.
And I would have loved to seen MJF versus CM Punk.
Right. I mean, eventually they might do it because I think they would be stupid to choose the Elite over Punk, because I think it was a bad idea to make wrestlers EVPs to begin with, because they're wrestling there and you're giving them decision-making power. And when you've got a guy like CM Punk who speaks his mind no matter what, and you know that coming in, like Jim Cornette said, this can't be the first time that Tony Khan had heard all this, that Punk said during the media scrum. And Tony Khan was sitting right next to Punk. he could have cut him off at any time.
Yeah.
You know, he could have said, hey, you know, that's enough, or, you know, even if he didn't want to piss off Punk. But you should have kept them apart. Like, I love Tony Khan. You're awesome for creating this company and all that you do with the Jacksonville Jaguars and your soccer team and all that. To be able to do all that and to run a wrestling company and a great wrestling company, more power to you. But you've got a lot of things to think about. And suspending guys, I think that was totally right. I don't think Punk was out of line for the things that he said because he was asked questions. And it's a media scrum. And it's a guy who's honest with everything he says.
Yeah.
So... But he got into a fight with the EVPs. I think it was bullshit that the EVPs went and confronted him in his dressing room. From what the reports are, Punk was there with his dog and Ace Steel's wife, who was on crutches apparently, and Punk was already bleeding from the match. And I don't know if they knew that he had torn his tricep at that point, but when 3 guys are coming into a locker room to confront somebody, if you don't expect him to defend himself, you're fucking stupid. And if his best friend's wife is in the locker room with him watching his dog, or who was watching his dog during the match, if you don't expect his best friend to come in and help defend his wife, you're fucking dumb too, you know. And what did you think was going to happen going into his locker room?
Right.
You know, but I don't think, you know, Kenny Omega could have whipped CM Punk. And I saw a lot of people saying, oh, well, Punk never won an MMA match. He still got training for it, so... You know, I would bet against Punk against Kenny Omega or any of the Young Bucks. They can throw super kicks, but I don't know about actual kicks, you know, because you can see them super kicks coming from a mile away, you know, so...
Look, here comes one now.
Yeah, right. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, but what are you going to do, you know? There's a lot going on, and I think Grand Slam tonight is going to be really interesting. We'll definitely talk about that, because I'll get that to him sooner than... You know, I was able to, because I have a life, I tried to mail him a flash drive with the stuff on it, and, you know, the postal service sucks even though we're only like 2 towns away. You know, it took like 4 days to get there. So he got it today, so he will actually probably talk a little bit about what he saw, if he wants to, you know. I don't really, did you have video game stuff you wanted to talk about? The GTA leak and all that?
Yes, the Grand Theft Auto 6 was leaked. Well, supposedly Rockstar got hacked by the same people that hacked Uber, and they you can find it out there.
Yeah.
In about an hour's worth of stuff on GTA 6.
Well, you know that with everything being digital now, that shit's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
You know, unless you put stuff on a secure server that nobody's gonna be getting into.
Right.
And if you have multiple people working on, and anybody that thinks that they've got something to gain from releasing something is gonna do it.
And this is not the first time this has happened to Rockstar.
Right.
It happened with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It happened with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right. And something that's that popular is probably going to have something leaked out.
It's even fucking happened with Grand Theft Auto 5, people.
Right. And I'm excited because to be honest, I've never really played Grand Theft Auto 5, which I do want to get, you know, caught up on Grand Theft Auto when I have more time and the house to myself. So, but I you know, it sucks that stuff got leaked because, you know, that does hurt things a little bit. But Rockstar's kind of in damage control, and, you know, what are they going to do? You know, it's out there. You know, you can try to take it down as much as you want. But.
I know when stuff was leaked on Red Dead Redemption 2 that they put a cease and desist order on it.
Well, yeah, but if you get hacked, there's kind of really not much because those people are good at, you know, covering their tracks and shit. But,
oh yeah.
But, you know...
Yeah, but the people that claimed that they did it were the ones that they said hacked Uber.
Right. I mean, I'm excited. I love Grand Theft Auto. It's one of my favorite games. Vice City is in my top 5 games of all time. So, I'm excited for a new Grand Theft Auto.
And fuck you people for shitting on the definitive edition of Grand Theft Auto, because I fucking love it.
Yeah, he showed it to me on his Switch when we were at the wrestling show, and I think it looks badass.
Shit, and I forgot my fucking Switch.
I was going to have him show the new grips that he got for it, which are pretty fucking badass. But I'll remind you of that.
Yes.
I don't, other than that, I really don't have much to talk about. There's a lot of stuff coming up. Unfortunately, Bound for Glory is only an hour away from us in Albany. I'm having a hard time getting days off, so we're not going to be able to go.
I'm fucking working weekends,
right,
on and off.
And it, you know, for a lot of people that work, sometimes it's hard, especially me because I work nights, so it's hard to get nights off to go to wrestling shows. It sucks because it's going to be right in Albany, and it's Impact's biggest, pay-per-view of the year. But what are you going to do? We were. It was cool that we got to go to the AEW show.
And it was fucking awesome that we got to go to the Impact show.
Right, the Rebellion pay-per-view, which was really good. Which, if you're just checking out our show for the first time, we reviewed that in one of our first episodes. I know we're only on episode 6, but we have the highs.
Speaking of about 6, we forgot to go like this.
Oh yeah, it's episode 6. I do have some ideas for stuff that we can hold up for the next few episodes. I will talk to you about that. We're not going to reveal that here because I think they're actually pretty fucking clever.
Yes.
So, other than that, please check out our social media. We don't post on it as much as I would like because sometimes it's hard to do, especially with Instagram because we don't take a lot of pictures.
Instagram.
Which we're going to start doing more Instagram because I do want to take more pictures at these shows as we're doing it. But we do have Twitter at Cheap Pop Show. We are on TikTok. We're going to do more videos. We do goofy videos just to promote the show.
Yeah.
We are going to get more display stuff that shows our social media, and we are going to mention our social media more in our videos because I do understand that for some people watching TikTok, even though I do put at Cheap Pop Show in the description, people don't know what the fuck we're talking about, even if we do say YouTube. So we are going to mention our social media and the show more in the videos that we do. But we do like doing goofy videos to talk about the show. We do have a lot of ideas. It's just finding the time to do them and
trying to get like shit that. To do them too.
I don't know if the Halloween episode will be our next one. Hopefully not. I would like to do more, and since stuff is changing around here, we will be able to have the background up all the time, so we can do. Hopefully we can record more often.
Speaking of our background, where the fuck is our Cheap Pops background?
Listen, I'm not carrying the banner around all the time. It's in the storage shed with our regular table. All right.
Fuck.
I'm working.
I know we got a rinky-dink little fucking table.
I got a card table. We got our shit set up. What more do you want? Quit busting my balls. Whose place are we doing this at? Who brings all this stuff? Who just brought a Skeletor mask and showed up and started talking? Jesus,
you're the one who told me to bring the fucking mask. I asked
did.
You, what do you want me to bring?
Who has show notes? Granted you didn't get the flash drive in time, but I'm just saying. Don't fuck around talking about the banner. Who ordered the banner? Who designed the banner? So fuck you. On that note, I don't know if the Halloween one will be our next one. I hope not because I would like to record more.
Yes.
But now that this one is actually, I worked today, he works today. If we can do this more often after a day of work, because he works on days when I have off. So if we can do it like that, we would like to do it more often instead of just trying to do it on weekends. We do want to go to more shows. We will review more shows. When we do go to a show, I will actually probably suggest to the promoter that they send us results. I don't think that they will have a problem with that because most promoters are really, especially for indie shows, are really good about helping out with people that want to promote their product. And that's what we want to do. If you see New York Championship Wrestling in your area, go see one of their shows. Tough and Talented Wrestling, World of Hurt Wrestling. If you're in the Northeast and you can't find a fucking indie show to go to, I don't know what's wrong with you because I get Facebook stuff about, especially in Connecticut. There is like a shitload in Connecticut.
Wasn't there one I sent you?
I'm sure you did because they're fucking.
But I couldn't fucking do it because I was working.
Right, and I follow a lot of indie wrestlers on Facebook, and I get show announcements all the time.
It was for the night before the day before Halloween. I had to work.
Right, yeah, and we were gonna go meet Danhausen, but I ended up having to work. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do Darby Allin because I've requested the day off twice and they haven't given it to me off. Yeah. And if I call off again, I'm going to get fired. So, I'm going to do that. But I do have a 1 in 500 Darby Allin figure that I want to get signed. And I might mail it in and get it signed. And I found that they, Wrestling Figures sells plastic protectors for the AEW figures, which would be perfect for it. and I might send the protector in with it in the protector, have them open it, have them sign it, and put it right back in the fucking protector and ship it. Because it's a 1 in 500, and I really want to get that signed.
Right.
I mean, who knows if I'll ever get to meet Darby Allin?
Right.
You know, I mean, he does signings and shit, but you never know. He's fucking crazy. He jumps.
He is fucking
jumps
nuts.
motorcycles and skateboards and shit all the time. I don't know. He might die.
And
I hope he doesn't die.
Right.
But he might.
And we're gonna settle this feud on WWE 2K.
Are we? We
Yes.
are gonna do
Yes.
a video game episode. It's not gonna be constant playing. Where, we're gonna play certain games and like we'll do a match on 2K and record us doing that, or a cool game on the Switch, or we'll do like maybe 20-minute videos, and kind of splice them all together, or we might even do it as individual small videos to kind of space it out, where we can do it in between actual full shows. We're kind of fleshing that out, but we do want to do video games because we're video game lovers. I was born in the 80s.
I was born in the 90s.
My first video game console was Nintendo. I played an Atari when I was a kid, but I did not own one.
My very first one I owned was the N64.
There you go, and that's a classic. You can't do better than an N64.
And I still kicked your ass as fucking Doink the Clown.
But that was on 2K, and that was bullshit. And
bullshit.
And you know why it was bullshit? Because the referee couldn't count for shit when I was pinning. Well, he went really fast when you fucking pinned me.
Fuck you! You still got fucking beat in the freaking last man standing match too.
That's true. I did. That's true. But we had fun playing that day. We will do it. We will do a full video game one. I think the Halloween Havoc one is going to be fun. We're gonna we'll do a watch along. I don't know if we could do the full thing, but we're not just gonna watch it and just do commentary.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Halloween. We'll talk about Halloween movies because I like Little Monsters and Ernest Scared Stupid, shit like that.
Fucking love Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah, so we'll talk about maybe we'll talk about costumes we've done in the past, Halloween experiences.
If you take a look back at Ernest Scared Stupid, that there's a lot of celebrities that came out of that.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of them. So we'll do it while watching a Halloween Havoc, and we'll talk about that as well. Check out our social media, Twitter. Jesus. No, not Jesus. He
Jesus!
He's not our social media. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. We don't have an actual website. We use Facebook and all that. At Cheap Pop Show. If you search Cheap Pop's, show on anything, search Cheap Pop Show on YouTube. We're going to try to be more active on our social media. He wants me to post memes. I'll definitely post memes.
Yes. I find them all the fucking time. A lot of funny ones.
And we will post more, and we will try to give more updates. Sometimes it is hard with, I'm sure everybody that, watches, you have a job, but we love doing this, and we are going to try to do it more often.
And yes, we both bust each other's balls.
Yes, we have fun. We're really good friends, and we have fun. We're doing this for fun. Yes, we were trying to get the name out about the show at the show, the wrestling show, because we do want more viewers.
Yeah.
But, we don't have any delusions of grandeur. We don't think,
No, we're not going to be fucking Hulk Hogan. No.
No, I'm not going to be fucking Hulk Hogan at all. You might. I mean,
Fuck no.
But, I won't even fuck Brooke Hogan because she looks too much like Hulk. But, follow.
No, you want Charlotte.
Ugh. No, I don't want Charlotte. I do not want Charlotte.
No, that's right. You want Paige.
I do want Paige. But she's got a guy, so.
Wait, she's got a guy now?
Well, yeah, I don't think she has a hard time finding guys.
Especially with those videos out there.
Check out our other episodes on YouTube. This has been episode 6. Check us out for episode 7. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
And thanks for checking us out on Cheap Pops on YouTube.